Welcome back to Alphos e-learning session 15. Hi students. In this session today we are going to discuss comparison of SN1 and SN2 reactions. So how would you identify if a reaction is given there, which product you are going to get and which product you are not supposed to get. Previously we discussed that the conditions which required for SN1 is completely different for SN2. In simply, SN1 conditions do not favor for SN2 product. Okay. Now, let us see factors affecting these two, comparison of SN1 and SN2, which factors, how they are going to affect. First one, effect of nucleophile. As we discussed that there are two types of nucleophiles mainly. One is a negatively charged one and neutral one. Negatively charged nucleophiles generally we are considering as strong nucleophiles, and neutral nucleophiles weak nucleophiles. Now, strong nucleophile always favors for SN2 because of strong nucleophile like OH minus, CN minus, SCN minus, NH2 minus, such type of nucleophiles obviously favors SN2, whereas weak nucleophiles like H2O, NH3, such type of neutral nucleophiles fails to give SN2. For SN2, rate law we learned that rate is equal to K into concentration of substrate and concentration of nucleophile. So nucleophile concentration also influences SN2. More the concentration of nucleophile, more SN2. Whereas if you come to SN1, strength of nucleophile and concentration of nucleophile both are not factor. Whatever the nucleophile, generally weak nucleophile favors. And what is the strength of nucleophile? That one also not criteria, because for SN1 rate is proportional to only substrate but not upon nucleophile. So simple here, if we are using strong nucleophile, it promotes more SN2. If you are using weak nucleophile, it fails for SN2. Whereas for SN1, nucleophile must be good nucleophile. So earlier we discussed that there is a lot of difference in between strong nucleophile and a good nucleophile. For SN1 we need good nucleophile but not strong nucleophile. Concentration of nucleophile also not a factor for SN1. So with respect to nucleophile, which reaction it proceeds, that we can take the decision. Second one, effect of substrate. Earlier we discussed that methyl, primary, secondary, tertiary, allyl, benzyl, vinyl and phenyl. We learned already vinyl and phenyl halides are failed for both SN1 and SN2. Whereas, let's come to methyl, primary, secondary, tertiary for all these substrates. For SN1, because of mechanism proceeds via formation of carbocation, the one which can give more stable carbocation, obviously that is more stable, means more favors for SN1. Those substrates which can give more stable carbocation, they can favor SN1 reaction, and those which are not able to produce more stable carbocation, such generally favors for SN2. The one which favors tertiary, obviously more stable carbocation, no doubt SN1, and tertiary because of steric hindrance, attacking of nucleophile from rare side is highly difficult. That's why tertiary do not participate in SN2, it participates only in SN1. So order of reactivity, tertiary is more than secondary because of tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary carbocation. Now if you compare methyl primary and secondary, in case of methyl halide, leaving group containing carbon do not attach to any alkyl groups. Simply we can say there is no steric hindrance or less steric hindrance. Because of less steric hindrance, approaching nucleophile can approach from rare side. Whereas in case of primary it is RCH2 like. So here presence of one alkyl group, because of presence of an alkyl group, obviously there will be little steric hindrance to the approaching nucleophile from rear side. Hence, reactivity of SN2 for primary is less compared to methyl. And for secondary, there are two alkyl groups because of more number of alkyl groups, obviously more steric hindrance. So, with increase in number of alkyl groups, steric hindrance increases to approaching nucleophile from rear side, which leads SN2 reaction is less. So here it is very clear, tertiary only prefers SN1 and methyl and primary prefers SN2 only because they are not able to form carbocation, stable carbocation. Now question is what about this secondary? So secondary alkyl halide, if we consider as a substrate, then whether it undergoes SN1 or SN2, because secondary can go both. That depending upon remaining factors like which nucleophile you are going to use, strong nucleophile or weak nucleophile, and which solvent we are going to use, polar protic solvent or polar aprotic solvent, like that. Means if substrate is secondary, then we need to consider remaining factors. If substrate is tertiary, obviously SN1. And remember that because of tertiary, it is able to form more stable carbocation. But that more stable carbocation formation is possible only in case of polar solvents. So when you consider tertiary alkyl halide, by default solvent is polar. Similarly, when you consider methyl primary, then that solvent what we are using, polar aprotic like DMF, DMSO. Hope it is clear. So for this there is an exception. When we are adding silver nitrate to the good ionizing solvent, silver nitrate to the good ionizing solvent here, neopentyl iodide substrate, neopentyl iodide AgNO3 and H2O. See here, iodine which is a leaving group containing carbon is primary. Since leaving group containing carbon here primary, in general what we are going to think, there is no scope for formation of carbocation here. But when we are adding silver nitrate to the solution, means this substrate, water and alcohol, aqueous ethanol, already I mentioned that why we are using aqueous and alcohol both, because in order to make that substrate and attacking reagent both can be dissolved in this one. That's why. So to this solution, when we are adding AgNO3, it prefers migration of alkyl group. Let us see how the mechanism proceeds. First of all, AgNO3 ionizes as Ag plus and NO3 minus. Now this Ag plus approaches the leaving group because of leaving group generally possess negative charge. Here it has positive charge. So this negatively charged leaving group is going to coordinate with Ag plus. Slowly in between Ag plus and I minus bond formation takes place. Simultaneous to that, bond breaking takes place in between this carbon and iodine. Hence, what happened here? CH3, CCH3, CH3, here CH2. This bond is going to break and this bond is going to form. Here whatever the positive charge earlier it was there upon silver, that positive charge here approaches upon this carbon. Now complete carbocation formation do not takes place, but whenever this positive charge appears here, because of here iodine has a negative charge. Now whenever this positive charge more and more developed upon this carbon, earlier it was there upon silver. Now because of silver is accepting electron from iodine and iodine is pulling electrons from carbon. So the same positive charge developed upon this carbon. So think what happened here. In between this carbon and iodine bond breaking takes place completely. Whenever this bond breaking takes place here, complete positive charge here. Now this methyl is going to migrate. That means it gives complete carbocation character. This I will take away electrons completely and this methyl is going to migrate. Resultant CH3, CCH3 and CH2, CH3. So here primary carbocation formation takes place or do not takes place? So we can say in general primary carbocation formation is difficult. So not possible we are going to say. That's why primary always prefers to go SN2 mechanism. Whereas when we are using silver nitrate, in such a case primary carbocation character also developed here. Resultant next with respect to this leaving group, if you consider this one is alpha and this will be beta, adjacent carbon is consists electron rich groups. That's why this group is going to migrate from this carbon to beta carbon to alpha carbon. Resultant we are getting tertiary carbocation. Upon this tertiary carbocation, water molecule acts as a nucleophile. Now this one attacks and later deprotonation. Final product what we are getting here is tertiary alcohol. If really it undergoes SN2 mechanism only, means in absence of this AgNO3, it proceeds only SN2 mechanism. In such a case, we are getting product that is neopentyl bromide, means simply this I we have to replace with OH. That is neopentyl bromide. But when we are using silver nitrate here, that I comes out and methyl migration also takes place. Ultimately, we are getting tertiary carbocation, which is more stable. Upon this tertiary carbocation, solvent molecule attacks. So water molecule come and attack upon this positive charge. Later deprotonation takes place. We are getting tertiary alcohol. Similar to that, here if you observe a bicyclo compound, here 6 membered ring, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 membered ring, this one CH2I. Here also Az plus prefers to combine with the iodine leaving group, and we are getting carbocation character like this. So here this carbon bears positive charge slowly and IAZ. This iodine and silver comes out as AZI. Whenever this carbocation character develop, here ring expansion. Earlier it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 membered ring. Now it is going to convert into 7 membered ring. Bicyclo compound, 7 membered ring. Like this. So because of this bond, means in between this bridgehead and this carbon, in between these two carbons earlier bond was there, that bond now shifted towards this carbon. Resultant this carbon acquires positive charge. This carbon acquires positive charge. So which carbon you have to say 1, 2, 3, and this carbon acquires positive charge. Upon here, so carbocation formation takes place. Earlier it was primary carbocation character. Now whenever the bond shifts, obviously it turns to tertiary carbocation character. Upon this, water molecule is going to attack. Water molecule come and attack upon this tertiary carbocation. We are getting product like this. Here OH2 plus, this one upon deprotonation. We are getting alcohol. See here, earlier leaving group was there at primary carbon, but we are expecting that primary carbocation formation do not take place. When we are using silver nitrate, this Az plus acts as catalyst, and this Az plus is going to take part in reaction with the I, means leaving group. This one bears generally negative charge and here positive charge. This Ag plus approaches this negatively charged I minus and it converts into AZI, and it will get back that AZI I minus, and AZI comes out. So whenever AZI precipitate out, there is no scope for back reaction. AZI precipitate out and you are getting positive charge upon this carbon. Whenever the positive charge developed slowly upon this primary carbon, then this bond migration takes place slowly, and simultaneously we are getting this membered ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, total 9 membered ring, means bicyclic compound. Here you are getting water molecule upon this one. Because of large ring here, hindrance also less, and this carbocation also stabilized. If ring are small, then carbocation is unstable. Now it is stable, and water molecule, solvent molecule come and attack upon tertiary carbocation. Further deprotonation, we are getting tertiary alcohol. Let's come to third factor. effect of solvent. For SN1, good ionizing solvent is required because of SN1 reaction. Mechanism proceeds via formation of carbocation. That means that mechanism follows ionic mechanism. Because of that ionic mechanism, ionizing solvent means more polar solvent required. So the more polar solvent means high dielectric constant consisting solvent. Now, if less polar solvent we are using, then formation of carbocation, ease of formation of carbocation will be less. Resultant SN1 reaction do not takes place that much good. So we need more polar or more dielectric constant consisting solvent. For SN2, it may go faster even in less polar solvent. Even less polar solvent, generally we are using polar aprotic solvent like DMF or DMSO or Crown ethers. So for SN2 less polar, for SN1 more polar solvents required respectively. Now, sir, what happened here if we are using more polar solvents? In SN2, when we are using more polar solvents, what happened? So, my answer is that solvent can influence nucleophilicity of nucleophile. How solvent influences nucleophilicity of nucleophile? Let us come. F minus, which is small size, I minus, which is large size. So in case of non-polar solvents, F minus do not undergo any solvation, or less polar solvents you may consider, less polar or non-polar. F minus solvation do not takes place. Since F minus solvation do not takes place, F minus remains as F minus and its nucleophilicity retains with itself. Similarly, I minus also do not undergo any solvation. Because of that, I minus remains as such and it retains its nucleophilicity. Clear? Sir, you are saying F minus remains as such. If when we are using polar solvents, F minus converts into some other nucleophile? No. F minus remains as such, but its nucleophilicity do not retains with itself. Let us see. Already we discussed that in less polar solvents like DMF or DMSO, only cations undergoes solvation. We discussed in previous session. Anions do not undergo solvation. That's why in less polar solvents, anions do not undergo solvation, they remains as such. When we are using more polar solvent like water, what happened? This F minus ion is surrounded by water molecules with hydrogen phase. That means all these water molecules come and surround around this one. How many water molecules can be surrounded around that F minus? Whether it is F minus or I minus, how many water molecules or what number of water molecules are simply how much solvation. Since here solvent is water, how much hydration takes place, that purely depends upon its charge density. Here both these ions are having only one unit negative charge, but size if you compare, this one is small and this one is large. In previous session already discussed, two balls, one is small one, another one is large one, both are painted with 1 gram paint. Then paint density will be more for small ball and less for large ball, isn't it? Just like here, because of small size and 1 unit negative charge, its charge density will be more. Because of more charge density, it can attract more number of water molecules. That means more number of water molecules come and surround around F minus because of more solvation. Because of more solvation, more and more number of water molecules are surrounded. More and more water molecules are surrounded. How they are going to surround? Here with positive charge phase. So ultimately F minus nucleophilicity reduces. Nucleophilicity is nothing but tendency to like positive charge. Whenever all these positive charged ions are surrounded around F minus, then its affinity towards another positively charged ion reduces or decreases. That means in case of more polar solvent, F minus, earlier it was, we discussed that strong nucleophile, that strong nucleophile retains, means nucleophilicity reduces. In case of I minus, if you observe, I minus, because of less charge density, it cannot attract more number of solvent molecules around itself. Resultant, less number of water molecules are surrounded around I minus. That means, what do you say? Less solvation. Because of less solvation, I minus nucleophilicity is not going to decrease that much. So, in case of less or non-polar solvents, nucleophilicity of F minus greater than, Cl minus greater than, Br minus greater than, I minus. Whereas, in case of polar solvents, that nucleophilicity reversed, means F minus less than, Cl minus less than, Br minus less than, I minus. So, when we are changing solvent, means from less polar to more polar, then they can influence their nucleophilicity. Resultant reaction tendency will be changed. So, solvent always SN1, for SN1 good ionizing solvent, and for SN2 less polar solvent, this is fixed. Let's come to fourth factor, kinetics. Kinetics for SN2 reaction, rate is equal to K into substrate concentration and nucleophile concentration. For SN1 only substrate concentration. So whatever the strength or concentration of nucleophile for SN1 not criteria, that already discussed. As we discussed, for SN1 tertiary alkyl halides preferably takes place, SN2 primary preferably takes place, primary and methyl. Now what about secondary? I am going to consider this secondary. Secondary halide means 2-chlorobutane. This 2-chlorobutane are secondary butyl chloride. When we are using NH3, it is a neutral molecule and this one is a weak nucleophile. And with OH minus, this one is a strong nucleophile. So when we are using a weak nucleophile kinetics for SN2, isn't it? For weak nucleophile, which mechanism it proceeds? For strong nucleophile, which mechanism it proceeds? For strong nucleophile, being strong nucleophile, it follows SN2 mechanism. And since ammonia is weak nucleophile and also solvent molecule and also able to form hydrogen bond, hence it proceeds SN1 mechanism instead of SN2 because of weak nucleophile, because of polar solvent, because of hydrogen bonding solvent, because of all these factors. Even though substrate is same, when we are changing this nucleophile, obviously you are getting different products here. Because of SN1 you are getting NH2. Here NH2 because of SN1 via formation of carbocation you are getting DL mixture, racemic mixture. Whereas in this case of SN2 OH minus, that OH minus approaches from rare side. So we are getting only one product, that is inversion. So kinetics, in this case ammonia we are using, SN1 is the kinetic product. In this case OH minus, this one follows SN2, kinetic product is inversion product. Now if there is any possibility for rearrangement or ring expansion in case of SN1, it requires some heat energy. That means by providing heat, that ring expansion or rearrangement takes place because the bond breaking required, energy required. Of course later bond will be released, but initially we need to provide. That's why that product generally what we are calling thermodynamic product. Here kinetic product is as such and rearranged product will be thermodynamic product generally. Now methyl alcohol solvent, I am going to consider this substrate. Here also it is secondary. Since methyl alcohol is a weak nucleophile Obviously, weak nucleophile means SN1. So whenever SN1 via formation of carbocation, that means this Cl has to come out as Cl minus. Then we are getting product here, intermediate here, secondary carbocation. Not only secondary here, but also allylic. Secondary and allylic, because of with respect to this positive charge alpha and beta carbon possess double bond. There is a scope for rearrangement. Now, when it rearranges, one of its resonance structure has like this. Here also carbocation, but this carbocation is tertiary and allylic. Of these two, tertiary and allylic is more stable. Hence, methyl alcohol means weak nucleophile, means solvent molecule, come and attack upon this one, and this product will be major product, OCH3, like this. This product will be major product, and from this intermediate, whatever the product we are getting, that will be minor product. So here more stable carbocation, from more stable carbocation, the intermediate, we are getting major product. From less stable intermediate, what we are getting, that is minor product. But this one without means immediate formation with respect to secondary one. So from this intermediate means secondary and allylic intermediate, what product you are going to get, that generally kinetic product, and from this one what you are getting, that will be thermodynamic product. The rate law for substitution reaction of 2-bromobutane and OH minus in 75% ethyl alcohol, 25% water at 30 degrees Celsius is given as rate is equal to 3.2 into 10 power minus 5 into concentration of 2-bromobutane into concentration of OH minus plus 1.5 into 10 power minus 6 into concentration of 2-bromobutane. Substrate means that only. Now, what percent of reaction takes place by SN2 mechanism when concentration of OH minus is 1 molar and when concentration of OH minus is 0.001 molar. Now, we consider 2-bromobutane, which is secondary. So here is a possibility for both SN1 and SN2. One case, OH minus nucleophile concentration is more. In another case, OH minus concentration is less. When OH minus concentration is less, in such a case, water molecule is going to take part in the reaction. When OH minus concentration is more, obviously OH minus only going to take part in the reaction. Now SN1, SN2, from this rate law it is very clear, this part represents SN2 mechanism and this part represents SN1 mechanism, because SN1 mechanism, first step only, rate determining step, formation of carbocation, that depends upon only on substrate, whereas SN2 mechanism depends upon both substrate and nucleophile. So this part represents SN2 and this part represents SN1. If you understand that, then we can solve very easily this question. Ask that percentage of SN2. If you want to calculate percentage of SN2, so product of SN2 by product of SN1 plus SN2 into 100. Nothing but this only. So let us solve first case, case 1. When OH minus concentration is 1 molar. If OH minus concentration is 1 molar, then percentage of SN2 is equal to 3.2 into 10 power minus 5 rate constant. This is rate constant for SN2 and this one is rate constant for SN1. So 3.2 into 10 power minus 5. Here substrate is 2-bromobutane. Its concentration not given. Of course here not necessary to calculate. Into OH minus concentration, case 1 molar we considered, by SN1 plus SN2 means this much, complete. 3.2 into 10 power minus 5 into again 2-bromobutane into 1.0 concentration of OH minus plus 1.5 into 10 power minus 6 into 2-bromobutane. Here in numerator and denominator, the 2-bromobutane getting cancelled. Then what we are getting here? 3.2 into 10 power minus 5. Here we need to keep 100 because of percentage. 3.2 into 10 power minus 5 by 3.2 into 10 power minus 5 plus here 1.5 into 10 power minus 6. I am going to consider this one as 0.15 into 10 power minus 5. Then 10 power minus 5 getting cancelled in both numerator and denominator. Then we are getting 3.2 by 3.35 into 100. It's almost numerator and denominator value is very close. It is nearly 98%. That means when concentration of OH minus is 1 molar, then the percentage of SN2 product is 98. Let us check out second case in which OH minus concentration is 0.001 molar, means 10 power minus 3 molar. Now I'm going to use the same formula. Percentage of SN2 is equal to again 3.2 into 10 power minus 5, 3.2 into 10 power minus 5. Here 2-bromobutane of course getting cancelled, just now we see here. So I am considering just concentration of OH minus as 10 power minus 3 by here 3.2 into 10 power minus 5 into 10 power minus 3 plus here 1.5 into 10 power minus 6. Here there is no concentration of OH minus for SN1. Now here 10 power minus 5 and 10 power minus 3, it will be 10 power minus 8, 3.2 into 10 power minus 8 by here 10 power minus 8. In order to write this one as 10 power minus 8, I am going to write 150. 150 plus 3.2, it will be 150 3.2 into 10 power minus 8 getting cancelled. It's nearly, of course here we have to use again 100, then it will be 2%. That means when we decrease concentration of nucleophile, obviously solvent molecules are trying to participate in the reaction because of nucleophile concentration is very less. Of course here solvent is nothing but ethyl alcohol 75%, water is 25%. So more number of alcohols are there and less number of water molecules are there compared to this one. Hence obviously the two solvent molecules are going to take part in the reaction rather than OH minus. That's why product SN2 product decreases.